Hello everyone, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hema Subramanian. When you plan a nice get-together with your family and friends, deciding on the dinner menu can be a hassle. I'm sharing a few dinner recipes that you will absolutely enjoy, and it's really simple and easy to make. So let's get started and check them out. For the Matar Pulao, that is the peas pulao, I've taken 1 cup of long grain basmati rice. Pour enough water, wash it a couple of times and soak it for about 30 minutes. So first I'm going to make a paste of green chilli. I've taken 2 green chillies, a piece of ginger, 4 cloves of garlic. Just make a coarse paste, pulse it a few times. So we're going to make the Matar Pulao in a pressure cooker. To the pressure cooker, add about 1.5 tablespoons of ghee and about 2 teaspoons of oil. To this I'm going to add all the whole spices, starting with bay leaf, cinnamon, clove and cardamom, 1/4 teaspoon cumin seeds. Next add 2 large onions thinly sliced. Next add 2 green chillies slit. Saute the onions till they are transparent. So the onions are transparent. Next I'm going to add the ground ginger, garlic and green chilli paste. Next add some fresh peas. This is roughly about 200 grams. To this add 1 teaspoon of salt. So you can see it's a very simple pulao, and if you're having some friends or family members coming over for lunch or dinner, this is something that you can make very quickly and with very few ingredients. So cook the peas for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, add the soaked basmati rice. So gently mix the rice along with the peas. So after 2 minutes of adding the rice, I'm going to add 1.25 cup of diluted coconut milk. So if you don't want coconut milk, you can just add regular water and make this recipe. So I'm just going to add a few mint leaves. So this is optional. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. This will just give a nice, very mild, pleasant flavor. Once the steam comes from the pressure cooker, place the weight and cook for 1 whistle on medium flame. The Matar Pulao is done. You can see the rice is cooked beautifully. For this recipe, I've taken 400 grams of fresh paneer, just cut it into medium-sized cubes. So you can see it's a nice size. It's not too large or too small. This is a good size. So we're just going to mix the paneer pieces with some basic spice powder, starting with some turmeric powder, a teaspoon of chili powder, just 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So just mix everything till all the pieces are just coated. And we'll just let this sit. To a white kadai, add about 2 tablespoons of oil and 1 tablespoon of ghee. So ghee is going to give you that nice extra flavor to the dish. Next add all the whole spices, cinnamon, cardamom, I'm using the green and the black cardamom, cloves, star anise, shahi jeera 1 teaspoon and bay leaf. Next I'm adding 2 large onions that's finely chopped. Saute the onions till they're a nice golden brown color. So you can see the onions have turned to a lovely golden brown color. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic paste and 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. Now I'm adding all the spice powder, starting with 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chilli powder, 1 teaspoon cumin powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, 2 teaspoons of besan, that is gram flour. Next add a teaspoon of salt. Just mix everything nicely. So we're just going to cook these powders just for a few seconds. Make sure you maintain the flame on a low. Next I'm adding the puree of 6 large tomatoes. So this has to cook till all the raw smell goes and it becomes nice and thick and the oil begins to separate. So you can see how the tomato puree has reduced beautifully, the raw smell has gone and you can see the oil all separated. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of whisked curd. Just mix that all in. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garam masala powder. Next add a teaspoon of sugar to balance the flavors. Just mix that in. Now that we've cooked all the raw masala, I'm going to add 1 cup of water to get a nice gravy consistency. Just mix that in. If you need to add more water to get the nice gravy consistency, you can add a little more. So let this cook for about 5 minutes. So next we are going to fry the paneer pieces to a pan, add a little ghee. Now you can also fry the paneer in a little oil, but I prefer ghee because the flavor is better with ghee. Once you've roasted the paneer pieces, keep it aside. So you can see the gravy is coming together so beautifully, all the oil has separated. Now final touches, add some kasuri methi, add a few green chilies, add a few ginger juliennes, a generous amount of chopped coriander leaves. Gently just drop the paneer pieces. Mix the paneer along with the curry. Just let it simmer for a few minutes on low flame. The Dhaba style paneer curry looks absolutely gorgeous. You can see this lovely rich color and the flavors are just absolutely spot on. Can't just wait to dig into this. For the veg chilli, first we are going to mix a couple of ingredients together, starting with the vegetables. To a bowl, take 1 small bowl of grated cabbage. Next add 2 medium-sized carrots grated, about 10 beans finely chopped, 1 medium-sized onion finely chopped. Next add 1 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon pepper. So just mix all the vegetables first. Next add half cup of maida, that is all-purpose flour, and quarter cup corn flour. So after adding the maida and the corn flour, mix everything together. So we're going to get a nice doughy consistency here because we're going to make small fritters and we're going to fry them. Now you can see the vegetables have absorbed the flour immediately. It's very moist. Now we need to get a nice doughy consistency, so I'm going to add a little more flour, that is the maida here. So I'm just adding another quarter cup. So totally I've added about 3/4 cup of maida. So you can see the consistency, it's very nice and thick. All the vegetables have come together beautifully, which is a nice thick doughy consistency. So when you roll it, it should bind well. So I'm going to shape them into oval shapes like these. So next we are going to deep fry the vegetable fritters. Take a kadai, pour enough oil for deep frying. Once the oil is hot, gently drop them into the oil. So I've deep fried these on medium flame to get this lovely golden color. Make sure you don't deep fry them on high flame because the color can change very quickly and it will be uncooked inside. So once these are fried to a nice golden brown color, remove them from the oil and keep it aside. So now we're going to make a sauce to coat the vegetable fritters. For this, to a pan, add about 3 teaspoons of oil. Once the oil is hot, add 2 cloves of garlic that's been finely chopped. Add a piece of ginger finely chopped. Next, add 1 onion that's been cut into wedges. Next, add 1 capsicum that's been cut into wedges. Saute for a few minutes. After a few minutes, add 1 tablespoon of red chilli powder, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon pepper. Just give it a quick mix. Keep the flame on low while adding the spice powders so that they can get burnt. So next we're going to add about half cup of water. So this will just help to cook the veggies. Next I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1.5 tablespoons chili sauce, 1.5 tablespoons tomato ketchup. Just mix everything. So let this simmer for about a minute. To make slurry, I've taken 1 teaspoon of corn flour, add about 1 tablespoon of water, just mix it together till it's all well dissolved. Add the corn flour slurry, just quickly mix it in. So you can see the sauce is coming together very nicely. Add some spring onion whites, just a few spring onion greens. I've saved some for garnish later. Add some slit green chilies. Now finally add the prepared vegetable fritters. So quickly mix all the vegetable fritters with the sauce so that it's all well coated. Keep the flame on high and do this so it's quickly done. You don't want to leave it in the pan for too long. It gets soggy, so you just want to coat them nicely. So this is a starter which is a bit dry. And make sure you serve it immediately after you make them. You're perfect. So if you're having parties, get-togethers, or even dinner with your friends and family, you can make these. Everybody will enjoy these. Just garnish with some chopped spring onions. Turn off the stove. The veg chilli is ready to be served. For the vegetable paratha, to a pan add about 2 teaspoons of oil, add a few cloves of garlic finely chopped, 1 large onion finely chopped. Saute the onions for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next add a few beans finely chopped, add 1 medium sized carrot finely chopped, add 1 cup of finely chopped cabbage. So just make sure all the vegetables are very finely chopped. Add half teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. So this is optional. If you don't want to add it, you can do it without the ginger garlic paste. Next add 2 medium sized boiled potatoes. Just roughly mash them with your hands and add them to the pan. Mix everything nicely. Next add some salt, half teaspoon turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, 1.5 teaspoons red chilli powder, 1 teaspoon garam masala. Just mix everything. So you can see how beautiful and colorful this is looking. So I'm just going to mash the potatoes nicely. So once you've mashed the potatoes along with the other vegetables, you can see how beautifully this mixture is coming together. Just add some kasuri methi leaves and some finely chopped coriander leaves. So now the vegetable mixture for the parathas is done. Transfer the vegetable mixture to another bowl and cool it completely. So once the mixture is cooled down completely, add 2 cups of atta, that is wheat flour, and mix it along with the vegetable mixture. You can adjust the quantity of atta, that is the wheat flour, depending on the quantity of vegetable mixture that you've made. So you can see I'm just adding little water at a time to mix the dough. So the dough is gradually coming together. Knead the dough for about 5 minutes till it's all well combined and you get a nice soft palatable dough. So the vegetable dough for the parathas is done. Just add a little oil on the dough, rub it all over. Close the bowl and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, divide the dough into equal sized dough balls. Dust the rolling surface. Place one of the dough balls, roll it out flat. You don't want it too thin or too thick, so I've just rolled it out to a nice medium size. Roll out all the dough balls in this manner. Once the tawa is hot, we're going to start cooking the parathas. Place the paratha on the hot tawa, cook on one side, flip it onto the other side. Add a little ghee on both sides. Now I'm being a little generous with the ghee. Once you get these nice brown spots on the paratha, remove them from the hot tawa and you can serve them nice and hot. Now I'm going to quickly make some bundi raita to go with the parathas. To a cup of whisked curd, I'm adding some bundi. Just mix it in. So you can serve these nice, delicious and hot vegetable parathas with some nice pickle and some nice bundi raita by the side. They make for a perfect meal. You can enjoy these anytime. You can make them in advance and put it in a box and you can refrigerate them. You can even freeze them. They're just absolutely delicious.
The second edition of our home cooking book is now available on our website 21frames.in. I'll give you the link in the description. You can go and check it out. The book is currently available only in India for now, so you can place your orders on 21frames.in.